Hey everyone, thank you very much for watching. Today we're going to be doing some front struts on a 2007 F150. It covers any of that generation. We'll get started on that, go through some of the tips. There's some things that people say to do, some things that you can actually look at a little differently. We'll go through some of that as well. But other than that, we'll get started on that, so no more talking. Let's get right to it. So it's worth noting, of course, a few things. Number one, you're going to want to spray everything down. That includes that nut right there, your tie rod connection right here. If you want, spray a little bit there. And then these three bolts is 1, 2, and then a third one back there, 3. Also, you're going to want to put a jack stand, having the car jacked up, as you can see. So make sure you're jacking your car properly. We have it jacked up here on the front of the subframe, and then the stand's here. Now the jack is no longer supporting it. It's just there as well. It's there just because that's where I jacked it, and it's been dropped down. The stands are doing all the heavy lifting right now. That's just what you want to do, safety first. So we put another one under the control arm here. The first thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be loosening this. It's a 21 millimeter nut. Looks like so far so good. Now luckily this didn't spin. When we did the other one, it slipped right out of the knuckle immediately. And doing that, there was no tension to work with. So we actually had to use a 10 mil socket. In this case, we didn't have to use a 10 mil on the top because it came right out. Now we're gonna kind of hammer that bad boy out a bit. See? Now we put a block of wood. Oh, beauty, look at that, eh? And then from here, what we're actually gonna do to kind of keep this out of the way is we're gonna bungee this. So as you can see, we're just gonna go around right over here. And we're gonna bring that right around. By the way, this is Tony.
What's up?
There we go. And then we put the nut on top to hold it in place. We're gonna loosen the top bolts. Now one thing that's not mentioned very often is one of the top bolts is up here. So as you can see, it's right over there. And we're gonna go at that with a 15 mil socket. So we're gonna get that on there and be keeping the edge of the car. It's gonna be a little bit of torquing. There we go. Once you get it though, it's going to come off nice. Now you don't want to take it off completely. You want to loosen it just enough that it's still holding in for the car, because you still need to work on some of the lower components. So now with these two, now you can see because of the fender over here, you really can't get a socket. It's a pain. You really can't unless you move the fender out. So we're going to go at it with a 15 mil wrench. Same idea here. Hopefully the condition will be good. So we're going to get that right on. Alright, so we're going to go first on the outside. Now that's a 1 1/16. I know a little bit of an odd number, but that's where we're going to go. And we're just going to put the gun as much as possible just to loosen it out. That's really just to crack off any dirt, rust, anything like that. Then we're going to go on the outside, which is a 30 mil. I'm just going to help move this here. And everything will and that's it. There you go. We have the nut off though. We got to get that bolt out. So all it is straight hammering it out. So we're just going to go ahead and apply some pressure right there. Tap it out. And you're going to see that bad boy's going to come right out. It's not about power in this case here. It's just about applying good solid taps right through. You got a screwdriver or something. We're using our extension here. Not the best, but you know, we will do it. And you're just going to tap it through there. See? See all that corrosion, rust, anything that's in there. So now we got to remove the nuts. Now if you remember, now that we have this down at the bottom all completely, it's only these three that are holding it in. So you just do these two here, 15 mils. You're just going to take them out with a wrench one by one. And then remember the other one is from the inside the engine bay and it's with a socket. We have the two bolt nuts out at the bottom. Those we took out with the wrenches. Now we're just going here with the socket back. And we're just going to wind that right out. It's good to have a hammer and a pry bar just in case, but we're going to give it a go now. So we're just going to just grip at the bottom and just give it a good pull. And in this case here it wouldn't go, so we're just going to get the pry bar and kind of shake it loose. The hammer is kind of a last resort. Really the pry bar should hopefully get it going. And then once that's there, it's just a matter of pull out and out she comes. Really what you're looking to sand is the contact points within itself. So you're going to be doing things like out here and in here. you're also going to be doing up here, as it tends to get a lot of rust and corrosion, as you can see up there. So you want to clean that up as best as you can. So we're going to go ahead and we just slide that into the top, right through. There you go. And if, let's make sure. And you're going to check just to make sure that all the bolts have gone right through the holes at the top. And then right down here, you're going to go and put this in. Now you may notice that it's not going to go in. That's because, of course, the strut is brand new. It's all stiff, so you're going to have to pry that in. I didn't have a pry bar that directly fits in there, so I'm just using this. I have a really heavy-duty screwdriver. We're going to go that in, but if you can have a pry bar that works, we're just going to put that in and we're going to kind of twist. It goes in kind of slanted too, so you got to kind of twist it. Then once it's twisted and straight right in there, we want it just so that both these pieces right here are kind of lined up. And then we're going to take our wood and a hammer. I'm going to just need about a quarter of an inch, I think. And we're almost there. You can see the holes lining up. Oh, there we go. Okay, so from here, you see, you're just trying to line that up so you go right through, because you want to be able to put that nut through. Once the nut fits, then you're all set. The thing with it though is doing this with one person is quite hard, but we're going to have Tony go with it here. You got the pry bar through while he hammers the bolts, and you're all set. So we're going to go and Loctite everything as our next step. So you just got to put a bead. So first off, you're doing it on the small little nuts here, and of course you're going to be doing it on the one big one there as well. So you're just going to put a little bead on the inside, so you can see what that looks like there, because as you tighten it's going to turn around within the nut itself, and you can see I'm just going to put that right up there. And then of course the last one, just going up to the top. So from here now, we're going to start going right onto these. Now these go to 35 foot-pounds. Again, it's a 15 mil socket. It is worth noting that these ones here, it's substantially harder to do if you don't have anything that can do it, right? It's supposed to go to 35, but you've got this in the way. Do that by the way we can gauge it. But if you can find a way, especially moving this inner panel or anything like that, or lifting this up and trying to get a ratchet in there, there's not really a lot of play to work with. But these are all 35s what they go to. You're going to Loctite this one as well. So again, it's a bigger nut. Same idea though. You just go right in and just apply some right on the inside, as you can see there. From there, as you can see below, just thread that right back on. Again, just make sure you're not cross-threading, and then we're just going to put our impact gun on, hold it in place, and just going to give it a little bit of a go. Alright, so we're about to, as you can see, we've hooked up our torque wrench down onto the nut right there, and I'm applying the pressure over here. So we're going to go now up to 350 foot-pounds. There we go. That's the magic click you're looking for. We're just going to go and put the tie rod back in. So as you can see, we just turn our steering over, the whole steering assembly. It helps, yeah, if we put the tie rod, there we go. Just line it up perfectly, and then it'll go right in. Now we're going to go to 110 foot-pounds, but I will be remiss to tell you that it is specifically 111 foot-pounds. You can see this has started spinning. You can see right in here, it's spinning. It got a little bit tight. So remember I was telling you guys earlier about the 10 mil, so we're going to put that on top. We'll put this through, and then we're going to put our 10 mil socket right on the top there, and then we're going to get that on, and then we're going to go. It's just a matter of putting the wheel back on, which we're going to do here now. So you just lift that up, line it up to the bolts. It's got some pretty good weight to that wheel, so keep that in mind itself. No matter which one you have, even from these ones here, which is the 17s, up to the higher end ones, they've always got some good weight to them. And we're just going to put some anti-seize right onto the bolts. This definitely helps with if you ever take these off in the future. So now, after you get the anti-seize on, you're going to put the bolts on. Now, when you're doing this part here, there's no real way to do it, because it's really when you do the tightening that it really matters. This is just, we're going to go hand tight. We're going to get our impact gun. We're just going to zip it on. if you're going to use the impact gun, you're going to want to go across because the impact gun will go beyond hand tight. Going hand tight by hand doesn't really matter. In this case here, we did the star pattern, which is you start off on 1. Doesn't matter which one, any one. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're doing a star, right? So all that is we set our torque wrench to the 150. Let's get a good view there. There you go. And then we just go straight onto it. And in case you've never used a torque wrench before, it's just a matter of tightening it up and you'll hear the click. You see that click? That's your 150 foot-pounds as you need it. Then you just go again across in a star pattern. And when you've done all 6, you just want to go over them one more time just to make sure you get that final click. So we got our one more. And then you just put your cap on, which I'll show you here because, why not? Punch it in. And guys, that's it. You're good to go. Thank you very much for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment as well if you have any tips, anything you want to let us know on. Make sure to do that as well. But if you like and subscribe, that lets me know you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. So don't forget to do that. Other than that, I'll catch you next video.